Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, suspected inappropriate sexual actions with UF student lands Gainesville man in jail. The joint effort investigators say it took to catch him.
Plus, Charlie Kirk, suspected killer, is in custody in Utah. The events that led up to his arrest and who turned him in.
And closer to home, cooler temperatures in north central Florida, but not for long. The UF weather team is timing out the weekend warm-up. First at 5 starts now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
A joint investigation by GPD and the University of Public Safety has led to the arrest of a Gainesville man they say touched young women on campus inappropriately. This is WUFT's First at 5. I'm Nicole Borman.
And I'm Jessica Wilkinson. Investigators say the suspect has multiple victims and they believe there are more out there. During a press conference earlier today, Chief Nelson Moya said they arrested 36-year-old Riley Washington. Their investigation started back in July after they received several reports from victims on UF Sorority Row claiming they were touched without their permission. Officers say they were able to establish a pattern of misbehavior and learned the behavior was escalating. After setting up surveillance around campus, investigators were able to identify and locate Washington as a suspect this week. But Chief Moya says it was one particular group of people who had a key role in the investigation.
This community, particularly our university parents, who are strongly united through digital platforms and communicate often, have done a great job in helping us move forward with this case.
Washington is facing charges of sexual battery, loitering, prowling, and stalking. He's in the Alachua County Jail. Police are asking for any other victims to come forward with information.
Some members of the UF community gathered on campus last night to remember conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. It was one of the dozens of vigils held across the country overnight. Police say the man who shot Kirk expressed different political views than the conservative activist. Investigators say 22-year-old Tyler Robinson turned himself in this morning at the urging of his father. And as Jay Gray reports, police say Robinson admitted to carrying out the act.
We got him. Utah Governor Spencer Cox confirming the arrest of 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, the suspect in the assassination of conservative activist and influencer Charlie Kirk. His family apparently recognizing Robinson in video and photographs from the crime scene, then confronting him. The 22-year-old reportedly confessing or at least intimating he carried out the attack.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had.
In the community where he grew up and his parents still live, shocked that a neighbor is now an accused killer.
No, the kid was smart, quiet. He never caused any problems.
Back on campus, a small memorial remains, as does the emotion of those struggling to understand this tragedy.
I sat in my son's school parking lot and I cried because I didn't want to leave my son at school, and it just hurts my heart that people can't just get along.
Students now recognizing those emotions and memories of the attack will linger as they return to classes next week.
I think it's always going to be a little different. I think there's been a shift, for sure. I mean, this isn't a violent area in the slightest, and that was probably one of the most grotesque acts of violence I've ever witnessed.
Violence that's changed not only this campus, but the nation. Jay Gray, NBC News, Orem, Utah.
We're experiencing a brief taste of fall with the cooler temperatures this week. UF forecaster Aiden Wacksman is live in the weather studio tracking the cool down for how long this weather will stick around.
We have some nice temperatures outside right now, 86 degrees here in Gainesville at the airport. Most of us staying in those mid-80s, some dry air really helping to make things feel like that false fall as well. So it's definitely a very nice day to go outside and experience some of this really nice air out there. You can see most of these showers and storms are situated well to our south and east. That's because there is a stationary boundary that's kind of trapping all of this moisture below us, and because of that we're getting a lot of really nice weather. You can see the dry air here in the southeast, mostly around the Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida areas. You can see some of that pushing into north central Florida and creating some really low humidity. Most of that moisture trapped all the way over here around South Florida. Some high school football tonight. You'll have some great weather to look forward to. And coming up, speaking of football, I'll have your game day forecast.
Following the Florida Appeals Court decision that the state policy on open carrying a firearm is unconstitutional, multiple counties in north central Florida claim they will no longer be following the Florida statute. This is despite the open carry of firearm not being legal yet, although the court's decision will likely stand. Counties like Marion announced that they will no longer enforce this law.
At this time, my deputies will not be enforcing Florida State Statute 790.053, which prohibits open carrying as it has been deemed unconstitutional.
It will remain unconstitutional to openly carry in public spaces like schools, government offices, airports, and sporting events.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission opened applications for the recently approved black bear hunt this morning at 10 a.m. This is the first bear hunting season since 2015, now that the population of black bears has climbed back up to over 4,000 in Florida. You can apply for a bear harvest permit application on the FWC website until September 22nd. And if you're approved to participate in the black bear hunt, your supplies just got a little cheaper. Right now, all hunting, fishing, and camping supplies are tax-free until December 31st. Here's a list of some of the items included in the tax break.
An upcoming local election will decide whether GRU will remain controlled by a government-appointed board or will go back to the city. The special election will be held on November 4th, but voters can request a mail-in ballot online or attend early voting. And for our Spanish-speaking audience, the GRU special election is one of the many items the Noticias WUFT team is covering on their show. Join them right here at noon every Sunday for stories directly impacting the Hispanic community in North Central Florida. Athletes 50 and over are gearing up for some fun and friendly competition at the Gainesville's annual Senior Games. Sponsored by the Hispanic Communicators Association and hosted by Gainesville Sports Commission, participants will compete in events such as golf, archery, pickleball, and more over the course of 2 weekends. Associate Director Emily Stillwell hopes that seniors come out and have fun.
We hope, honestly, that they just have a great time. We're here to promote health and wellness and camaraderie amongst them. A lot of them, you'll see, they come out and they're really competitive and they're here and this is their sport that they've done since they were younger. And then other ones just come out.
Archery, pickleball, and swimming will begin tomorrow, and the games will continue until the 21st of September.
A water boil advisory is in effect for Marion County. The notice for Lakeview Hills, which includes Lake Weir High School. Residents are encouraged to boil any water used for drinking, cooking, or brushing teeth. Marion County Utilities will notify customers once the water is safe to drink again.
Lily's Splash Pad in Ocala is temporarily closed after experiencing damages from a recent storm. Repairs are expected to take 3 to 4 weeks. But if you're looking for somewhere else to cool off, Citizens Circle Splash will remain open from sunrise to sunset all week. The City of Ocala is partnering with Green for Life, the host of a Waste Amnesty Day on Saturday, to help keep hazardous waste out of landfills and water systems. Items like paint or cell phones can't be thrown away with regular trash disposal, but tomorrow residents of Ocala can bring theirs to the event to dispose of them safely.
Coming up after the break, how local athletes are influenced by their UF alum coaches. A spotlight on local coach and his athletes in training.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. Not all athletes can make the transition from football player to head coach, but there are several here in North Central Florida who are doing just that.
Several high school programs in the area have national championship winning former players at the helm. WFT's Jelianys Ramos is live in the studio with the messages one coach works to instill in his team.
Local high school athletes looking to make a name for themselves are getting championship caliber help. And at Old Call here in Gainesville, Coach Miguel Carradine is using the time he spent under Urban Meyer as a basis for running his program.
Ready, look!
From the Saturday night lights to the Friday sidelines, Miguel Carradine is embracing his role as the head strength and conditioning coach at Old Call High in Gainesville.
As a high school coach, I have a big impact on their trajectory in their lives and in their careers in their athletic career.
For the high school athletes, the main focus is not just getting playing time, but building a firm foundation, something that was available to Coach Carradine during his time as a Florida safety.
What was instilled in those teams was being robust, like being able to, go to work every day, day in and day out, and have each other's backs. And that's what I promote to these guys every day.
And it has paid off. The Eagles are 3-0 so far with a key matchup coming up Friday night against Brantford. Carradine says his work with these student athletes plays a key role in their success.
High school strength and conditioning lays the foundation for athletic prowess in the future.
And looking to the future is top of mind as plans to build a new 22,000 square foot facility begins next month.
Me and the athletic director, Edwin McTurius, are spearheading that process. Utilizing my background in collegiate athletics, I'll be able to equip the space with good equipment that is going to be actually functional for the space.
Coach Carradine is just one of the many former Gator athletes who are coaching locally. Cornelius Ingram is at Hawthorne Middle High and has won several championships in football and girls basketball. Ernest Graham was a running back for Florida and is in his first season as Santa Fe's High head coach. And former Gator wide receiver Willie Jackson is at helm at PK Yonge. And there are even more Gators we haven't named who are coaching outside of North Central Florida. Reporting live in the studio, Jelianys Ramos, WFT News.
Take a look at some of these humidity values, some of these 20% or more below average. I'll let you know if these dry conditions will persist into the weekend coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Guys, coming into the studio today, I kind of, do you see that? I had goosebumps. It was kind of cold, which I wasn't expecting.
I'm with you. I'm literally wearing a jacket. It's kind of giving false fall that you mentioned earlier, Aiden. What's up with that?
Yeah, that would be because it is false fall right now. We can kind of say that. There's some really cool temperatures out there, some dry weather. Let's take a look at some of these low temperatures since midnight last night. No wonder we're chilly. We're in the upper 60s, and some of us are even lower than that, in the lower to mid 60s. Take a look at Columbia County, Lake City, 63 degrees out there. So definitely a little bit cooler this morning, and some dry air is really helping to make those temperatures feel a lot nicer out there. You can see Gainesville, 51% humidity. The average for North Central Florida, 75%. So we're getting some really dry weather, making things feel really nice out there. It's just a great day to get outside considering these conditions. Overhead on our campus cam, you can see some clouds out there and a pretty nice breeze out there, a notable breeze, 16 miles an hour from the north-northeast. So that's going to create some nice little conditions there to kind of cool things off a little even more, in our dew point at 66 degrees as well. So you can see moisture in the atmosphere. Definitely not as plentiful today. Some of these surface temperatures, Gainesville, 86 the airport. Most of us staying in those mid 80s, and along the coast, we're sitting in the low 80s because of an onshore breeze that is lowering the temperature along that coastline. So not as lucky here inland. It's a little bit hotter out there, but the showers and storms staying well to our south and our east. Pretty heavy storms in parts of South Florida this week, but North Central Florida staying really nice out here, and nothing more than a little bit of cloud cover, but a shower or two may be possible. So just have that umbrella ready just in case. It can never hurt. And again, all of those showers and storms, a stationary boundary really sealing this moisture in the South Florida area and creating instability in that region, but not for us. Some dry air, a lot of this in the southeast right now. You can see some of this actually pushing into North Central Florida as well. And that should continue into the weekend too, so it should be a nice game day forecast. Taking a quick look at the tropics, 40% chance of development of some of this cluster of thunderstorms off the coast of Africa. Nothing to worry about, way too far out to begin even guessing about this thing. It could veer out to sea, but for now we're just going to keep watching it, and we'll keep you guys updated on it. No need to worry though. We are in the most active time of hurricane season right now. 60% of storms actually occur after that September 10th date. So just something to note. Always good to check the National Hurricane Center daily for more information. Your tailgating forecast tomorrow, if you're going out in Gainesville, it's going to be pretty nice out there. 85 degrees, 80 at 7 o'clock, staying nice and dry for the most part. Maybe a shower possible, but unlikely heading into tomorrow, and those temperatures staying really nice out there as well. In Baton Rouge, where the game is taking place, much warmer out there. We're talking 94 degrees at 4 o'clock. It is a little bit drier, but still, those added some scorching heat out there, so the Florida Gators are going to be playing in some tough conditions and also some tough heat as well. Some showers and storms off the coast. You can see some cloud cover around around the morning hours tomorrow, sitting at 68 for our low temperature, so a little bit chilly out there for us Floridians, and we could see some more clouds roll in. 7:30 though, things should start clearing up a little bit and could see maybe a shower or two pop up in the Saturday afternoon hours, Sunday afternoon, but again, very unlikely, but just want to be safe out there as well all the way into Sunday afternoon. And we could see some wind gusts as well, some pretty heavy winds, maybe 20 to 30 miles an hour, so just a nice breeze to have in the picture for all of us. I'll have one final look at the weather coming up, but first let's see what Kennedy has in sports.
Coming up in sports, a top rivalry game of the week. Florida heads to LSU this weekend. And under the Friday Night Lights, the WUFT sports team has a preview of the key matchups around North Central Florida.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
This is sports. I'm Kennedy Lerner. The Florida Gators hit the road to take on the LSU Tigers this weekend, coming off an upset loss to USF. LSU is perfect so far this season and is out for revenge after losing to the Gators last year in the Swamp. The Tigers have won 5 out of the last 6 meetings and will look to restart their winning streak versus the Gators. Florida is seeking its first road win versus an AP top 3 opponent since 1996 when they beat Peyton Manning's number 2 Tennessee. Billy Napier speaks about staying alive in Death Valley.
I love the arena. I love going on the road. And I think as a competitor, I think it brings a different edge to your game a little bit.
The Gators have not won in Death Valley since 2016. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. It's Friday Night Lights, which means the lights are bright for another week of high school football. Undefeated Oak Hall tries to stay that way as they welcome Brantford. WFT's Sydney Espro visited the Eagles and has a preview of tonight's matchup.
I'm at Oak Hall, where the Eagles will be taking on the Brantford Buccaneers tonight. The Eagles' record is a 3-0, so they are going into this match undefeated. People are already starting to fill in the stadium. It's going to be a great match. From Oak Hall, Sydney Espro, WUFT Sports.
Some other notable matchups tonight include the Bradford Tornadoes taking on Mandarin High out of Jacksonville. Buell Holes heads down to South to take on Manatee High. Eastside is in Ocala versus Trinity Catholic, and Hawthorne is at Oakleaf in Clay County. We'll wrap up tonight's slate of games Monday at WFT midday. On the pitch, Gator Soccer dropped their second game in a row last night and their first conference play. WFT's Luis Rodriguez has a story on this competitive SEC matchup.
SEC play is here, and the Gators soccer team had a tough battle against one of the best teams in the nation, number 9 Arkansas Razorbacks.
It was a sunny afternoon at Donald R. Disney Stadium as Florida looked to test themselves against a top SEC rival. Arkansas struck first, finding the back of the net just minutes into the match, and added 2 more before halftime to take a 3-0 lead. But the Gators showed fight in the second half. Freshman Kai Sakiris buried a penalty kick to put Florida on the board. Then Madison Jones converted another one from the spot to cut the deficit to 1. The comeback falls short as Arkansas held on for the 3-2 win. After the match, head coach Samantha Balhon emphasized resilience and focus.
A lot of teams could have kind of folded it up and gotten frustrated, and I just felt like our team just really kind of got tight and decided they were going to fight no matter what. And, I'm really proud of them. I believe in this group. I think that they can do some really special things this year, and so we just got to put 90 minutes together and not 45.
For the Gators, they fall to a 500 record. Next up, they will travel to Columbia to take on number 20, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Reporting live from the DIS, I'm Luis Rodriguez Combe, WUFT Sports.
It's a busy weekend in Gator sports. Here's a look at some of the action coming up. Gator volleyball will welcome number 20 Baylor, trying to bounce back after they were swept in Chapel Hill this week. And women's golf is in Toledo, Ohio this weekend for the start of the Interverse Intercollegiate Tournament. In the pros, we got some standout Gators taking the field. Catch receiver Ricky Pearsall playing for the 49ers on Sunday at 1 p.m. versus the Saints. Shamray DK throws the Titans helmet on as they face the Rams. That game also in the early window. And Kyle Pitts and the Falcons are up against the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. Lastly, be sure to check out Gator Game Day as they get you set up for the Gators trip to Baton Rouge. The pregame show is on air at 6 p.m. on our Sports at CJC YouTube channel. From the studio to your screen, I'm Kennedy Lerner, and that's it for sports. We'll have a final check on your weather forecast after the break.
It's a great weekend to get the grill out, some nice cooler temperatures, and some dry weather ahead.
Well, I'll be sure to get my burgers and hot dogs ready for this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. We're back here on Monday for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on WUFT.org and all of our social media platforms. Have a good night.